I am not from here. Hello everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and today we will be unboxing this very promising basketball sneaker from Puma. This is the MB01, or the signature sneaker of the MELO ball. Before we talk about the sneakers, we're going to talk about the boxers because this is a very nice box. Huge shout out to Puma for making a very creative box and not just giving MELO a typical solid box that is quite generic. And what they made with this box is it's like a spaceship in the front. You can see there's a plastic here that you can see the sneaker inside, and of course MELO 01 here at the bottom, and not from here on top of the box, which means of course like MELO's like an alien. It's not your typical basketball player, and it has the galaxy background all throughout the sneaker, and of course MELO's logo. This is actually, I think, part of his tattoo if I'm not mistaken, and also the Puma logo on the other side. So I got a US 11. So let's open up the box, and what's nice about the box too is it comes with a cardboard divider, which they put a little extra effort on that so that you can put your sneakers properly when you're not using them. And like I said, the plastic here, and that's about it on the box of the MELO 01. So let's talk about the sneaker. So I actually tried it here first in my floor, and I'm going to give you my first impression. First thing that I noticed immediately out of the sneaker is the comfort around your foot. It has a very comfortable upper. It is very well padded from the forefoot to the heel. It has a typical mesh upper all throughout the sneaker, and a lot of fusing from the toe area going to the lateral part. You can see this panel here. This is fused, and of course at the back part you can see this kind of wing-like pattern, which is also part of MELO's tattoos around him. The design of the MELO ones is actually from his tattoos, and of course on the middle part is more fusing. On the lateral part is actually stitching here, so it gives you a different texture feel to the sneaker. And like I said, as for comfort, the tongue is really thick. It's very comfortable, and even on the ankle part, this padding around the ankle that goes around from the side part going to the heel part of the sneaker is very well padded, and when I wear it, it's a very comfortable sneaker. It's actually not too thin. I think that's the only downside. If your sneaker is very comfortable, it means it has a thicker material, so a lot of foam padding around the sneaker. But when you wear it, you would feel it very supportive. It's like hugging your foot. That's really nice. That's what you feel on the MELO 01. And on the tip of the toe box, it has some ripstop here for added durability. So I guess as for durability of the MELO ones, I think the upper will be very durable. It has a very thick fusing here, like I've said, with the Puma logo on the tip and one of one here on the medial part of the toe area, and not from here text on the edge of the lacing system. And as for the tongue, you can see the one of one and also the one logo of MELO here on the middle part of the tongue. That's mainly my takeaway for the upper of the MELO 01. Immediately very comfortable, so it's not too thin. Ventilation wise, I think it's on the warmer side of things, but I don't mind that since the MELO 01 gives me that comfort and support and the fit, and it hugs my foot really well. So I like that about this sneaker. It's a mid-cut sneaker, so it gives you extra ankle protection. And as for heel containment lockdown, so far when I was just walking around with the sneaker, it really gives me a very nice heel containment and lockdown, because especially of the thick padding it has around the heel. Now let's move on to the midsole part of the sneaker. It has a full-length nitro foam. So it's a nitro injected foam Puma is using for the MELO one. And I actually wear this side by side with my Puma All Pro. And I'm actually quite surprised because I thought the foam cushion of the MELO one will be a little bit thicker compared to the All Pro. But the All Pro's foam is a bit thicker compared to the MELO ones. So the MELO one gives you more court feel. And of course, responsiveness is awesome in the All Pro. And this one will also give you that. I haven't played with them yet. So I believe I need to break in the nitro foam first. Usually nitro injected foam, you need to break it in first before you will feel the maximum bounciness, if the foam will give you that, and the impact protection. I was actually walking around with this for about an hour and it feels very comfortable. The foam is very plush too, but I haven't tried, of course, jumping with it that much. But as of now, there's impact protection on the heel. I was kind of pressing the heel part and it was giving me nice impact protection. Given that the foam is not too thick, it seems very promising. And I like that they expose the foam here on the middle part to give it more compression, and even on the back part of the cushion. It is uncaged, and the only caged part is this lateral part where you can see this plastic piece here that is also part of MELO's tattoos. And on the medial part, you can see that similar pattern, but that is made out of foam. So it is caged on the lateral part so that it will give you a good stability to the sneaker. And the foam also goes up around in the forefoot part, so it kind of cages your foot to give you that extra lateral stability to sneaker. So that's another thing that I like about the MELO ones. And now let's move on to the outsole of the MELO ones, where you can see there's a rare text here. Of course, it's not from here, so he's a pretty rare specimen. That's what they're calling MELO right now. He's a phenom and he's been playing very well this season too. And of course, there's one of one at the heel part of the traction. It has this knob type of rubber traction all throughout, and there's some zigzags around the heel part of the traction. And the traction is not too deep, but the rubber compound is pretty thick and hard. So I think the rubber compound is pretty durable, but although it's not too deep, kind of gives me the similar vibe of the traction to the Converse All-Star BB. And those have amazing traction. I'm usually using it. I even use it outdoors and the traction was still pretty good. So I believe it has the same feeling like on the MELOs. So I think this will last a very long time, but I'll give you an update on that on my performance review of the MELO one. And you can see it's a bit rounded on the forefoot and it's a pretty narrow sneaker. So I was kind of worried at first because I was trying it out in my floor that it won't be that stable, but surprisingly, it's a pretty stable sneaker. So I have to yet to play with it though. But for a very narrow sneaker, Puma really made the point that to give that very nice support laterally, this caging, the outsole goes up to around about the mid part of the foam to give us that extra caging there. And of course, the foam also goes up. And of course, the upper is very well fused. It's thick, so it gives you extra support too. So mostly of the support comes there, and the foam is not too thick either, so you're really low to the ground. So stability on the sneaker is really nice too. I didn't feel unstable at all. And what's nice about this is it's rounded here on the medial part. So it gives you that rocking motion. So when you're doing crossovers, it gives you a very fluid motion to the sneaker. So I'll give you my update on the performance review, but it's pretty narrow on the outsole. And I'm actually comparing it to the Kyrie 6 that I have here, which has a very similar color to it, but the MELO has a better pop of color. It's a red orange too, but this one pops a bit more, but gives me, it's kind of the same. I hope that you can see the difference in the screen. And let's compare the outsole. The outsole both are very curved, but you can see the Kyrie's is a little bit wider compared to the MELOs. Like in this part, you can see the outsole of the Kyrie's kind of protruding a bit here. So the Kyrie's wider compared to the MELOs, but let's wait and see. And as for the heel to toe transition, feels that it has a very nice flow to it because the outsole is kind of rounded, and I'm trying to bend it. I think there's a mini plate here in the middle, but it's not too large too because it's kind of rigid around this part. That plate also gives you that extra stability. As for the weight of the MELO 01, it is 470 grams, so it's about the average in my size, US 11. And since it has a thicker material, of course, it has a foam and it's a mid-cut. 470 is quite average on my size. And as for sizing, US 11 for me, true to size, and it fits me perfectly. I like how it hugs my foot, and there's just enough toe space for my foot to move a bit because I really don't want my toes to be really pinching the edge of the sneaker. Usually, the last time that I did that and I played with the sneaker where my toes are at the edge, it killed my toes, especially my big toe. So I don't want that happening ever. So I usually get my sneakers to have a little bit of toe space if I'm getting a basketball sneaker. So for the price of the MELO 01, it is 125 US dollars. So I got this at Puma.com in the US. Fortunately, it's not yet here in the Philippines, but Puma Philippines is dropping some hints. They're having a raffle or a contest about an artwork where you can submit your artwork for the MELO 01. So I believe this might be dropping soon here in Manila because before the All Pro, it was like delayed for about 9 months. It came out in the States, in the US, and Europe 9 months before it arrived here. So hopefully Puma will bring this soon here in the Philippines. And this is a very promising sneaker. And I heard lots of good things about the MELO 01. And I can't wait to hoop on them. So if you're asking me how I copped it over at Puma.com in the US, if you want to cop it, fortunately this colorway is out of stock. But the Hornets colorway, the Buzz City colorway is coming out soon. And if you want to cop it, my tips are I used PayPal to purchase this pair, and I had the third-party shipping company like Shipping Cart. I use Shipping Cart. Sometimes I use Shopping Box, where you can use that address and send this send the sneaker to that address, and they will ship the sneaker to you. So you kind of need to add around 1,000 to 1,500 pesos for a sneaker. Be aware that if you buy something above $200, the Philippine customs might charge you extra. So be warned with that. But for this one, this is 125. So I didn't have to pay any extras from the customs, and Shipping Cart delivered it to me right in my doorsteps. So that's it on my initial impression on the MELO 01. Let me know your thoughts on the sneaker. Do you like them? Do you have them? Have you played with them? Let me know in the comments down below. So this has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!